May 6th, 2025. A sunny afternoon in Washington, D.C. But inside the White House press room, the atmosphere is tense. Cameras flash, reporters lean forward, and then Donald Trump takes the stage, standing beside Canada's Prime Minister. He drops a bombshell. "We're not going to pay for it," Trump says, eyes narrowing. He's referring to California's high-speed rail project, the most ambitious infrastructure plan in U.S. history. No negotiation, no gray area, a flat-out refusal. This wasn't just policy, it was a TV moment, a performance designed to send a clear message. And it worked. For over a decade, California has been working on what it hoped would be America's first bullet train, a shining electric marvel connecting Los Angeles to San Francisco at speeds above 200 miles per hour. But without federal funding, that dream now risks falling apart. Here's the twist no one expected. Just hours later, California Governor Gavin Newsom fires back. If Washington won't help, he says, maybe Beijing will. Yes, China. In minutes, a budget dispute turned into a geopolitical showdown. Suddenly, America's rail project was about more than trains. It became a symbol of national pride, political gridlock, and the uneasy rivalry between two global superpowers. But how did this happen? Why was this rail project so crucial? And why is it now hanging by a thread? Let's rewind. To understand the importance of this train, we need to go back to 2008, a year of hope, change, and big ideas. That November, while the nation elected its first black president, California voters said yes to something historic, a high-speed rail system to link Los Angeles and San Francisco. The plan was bold, trains zooming at 220 miles per hour, a sleek European-style network powered by clean energy. Travel times under 3 hours, less highway congestion, fewer short flights, and a giant step toward a greener, modern America. Voters backed it with real money, approving $10 billion in state bonds to kickstart the project. And when President Obama took office, he made it part of his national infrastructure agenda, sending $3.5 billion in federal grants. The message was clear. It was time for the U.S. to catch up with Japan, France, and China. This wasn't just a train, it was a moonshot, a symbol of what America could achieve if it set its mind to it. A futuristic corridor linking two of the nation's most dynamic cities, tech hubs, media centers, ports, universities, all connected by a single rail line that could transform travel. But like all moonshots, it needed a strong launch. And that's where things got complicated, fast. Fast forward to 2025, and the dream is mostly still a dream. Instead of a sleek bullet train racing through California, what you see are scattered signs of stalled ambition. Drive through the Central Valley and you'll spot massive concrete pylons standing alone in the fields, modern ruins, bridge supports that lead nowhere, dirt embankments slowly eroding under the sun. It's not a train. It's a trail of broken promises. The original budget was about $40 billion. Today, it's soared to a staggering $128 billion, more than the GDP of some countries. When voters approved the plan in 2008, the train was supposed to be running by the mid-2020 ES. Now, full completion isn't expected until at least 2033, if it's ever finished. For now, there's only a partially built stretch between Merced and Bakersfield. 170 miles through farmland, hardly the high-speed connection the public was promised. It's like building a sports car and only finishing the engine. So what went wrong? Costs spiraled due to land acquisition issues, environmental reviews, legal battles, and constant plan changes. One governor pushed the project forward, the next pulled back. Agencies overlapped, contractors quit, deadlines slipped. What began as a moonshot now looks like a cautionary tale. Into this chaos stepped Gavin Newsom with a move that surprised many political watchers. On May 7th, just a day after Trump's funding rejection, Newsom dropped a geopolitical bombshell.
If Washington won't help finish the job, he said, we may need to look elsewhere, including China.
That statement hit like a thunderclap. The idea of partnering with America's biggest strategic rival on a massive infrastructure project was almost unheard of, but for Newsom, it was a calculated risk, maybe even a last resort. He pointed to China's unmatched speed and expertise in building high-speed rail.
We want results, he said, not more red tape.
Online, Chinese social media exploded. Users joked, if California hands over the keys, we'll finish the line in a year. Memes showed Chinese bullet trains zooming past American traffic jams. Behind the jokes was a serious message. While America debates, China builds. Suddenly, what was a state infrastructure crisis became an international flashpoint. This wasn't just about trains anymore. It was about power, pride, and global influence. Could California really partner with China? To see why it's not as crazy as it sounds, let's look at what China has accomplished in just a few short years. California has spent over 15 years and billions just to lay track between two small cities. China, in just over a decade, built the world's largest high-speed rail network, over 45,000 kilometers, enough to circle the globe. Their trains cruise at over 300 kilometers per h, linking megacities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou with incredible efficiency. In many places, it's faster to take the train than fly, and it's not just China. Take Indonesia, for example. In 2023, China finished the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed rail line, cutting a 3-hour car trip to under an hour. Despite some delays, it was completed faster than expected. That project was part of China's Belt and Road Initiative, exporting its infrastructure know-how worldwide. How do they do it? It's not magic, it's a system. China's government runs a top-down model. Once a decision is made, funding flows, engineers mobilize, construction begins, fast. They use standardized designs, mass-produced parts, and face little local resistance. Environmental approvals are fast-tracked, land acquisition coordinated, and permits bundled in one streamlined process. Now compare that to the U.S. design reviews. Permitting, bidding, everything is fragmented. Dozens of agencies, multiple government layers, endless community meetings, lawsuits, protests, and funding delays. Everything takes longer, costs more, and can be stopped by a leadership change. This isn't just about democracy versus authoritarianism. It's about whether the system is built to deliver. And that contrast has never been clearer than in California's high-speed rail saga. Here's the hard truth. America isn't short on talent or money. What it lacks is a system that actually gets big projects built. Let's break that down. First up, environmental reviews. On paper, they're meant to protect nature and communities from harmful projects. In reality, they become a tangled maze. A single rail project can get stuck in years of studies, objections, and counter-objections. Sometimes the paperwork takes longer than actually building the track. Then there's labor and union negotiations. California, like many states, works closely with unionized labor, which means good wages and protections for workers, but also higher costs. Sometimes it can double what similar projects cost overseas. Local opposition is another major hurdle. In the U.S., almost every town and neighborhood gets a say. That's democratic, sure. But it also means every track, every tunnel, every station can turn into a legal battleground full of lawsuits and protests. Funding isn't safe either. Political cycles turn infrastructure into a tug-of-war. One governor supports the project, the next cuts funding. Long-term plans get shredded every 4 years. And then there's the deep-rooted American car culture. Most cities were designed around highways, not trains. So when you propose a high-speed rail, it's not just a new way to travel. It's a cultural shift, and change like that always faces resistance. Take the example of Hitachi in 2024. This global engineering giant quit the California project, citing regulatory confusion and lack of progress. All these challenges add up to one harsh reality. America's current system isn't built to deliver big infrastructure projects at scale, on time, or at a reasonable cost. And this isn't just California's problem. It's a warning sign for the whole country. By now, the California high-speed rail is more than just a project. It's become a symbol, and not one anyone's proud of. Across political lines, critics agree it's a failure. Conservative Congressman Kevin Kiley called it the greatest misuse of public funds in American history. Media headlines have stopped being hopeful. They now call the project a boondoggle, a fancy word for a money pit. Here's the painful part. What was supposed to represent America's leap into the future is now being compared to signs of decline. Think about it. China built an entire national high-speed rail network in about 15 years. The U.S. can't finish a single 500-mile line. This isn't just about technology or speed. It's about credibility. Infrastructure is the backbone of a functioning economy. So now, this stalled rail project isn't just a construction site. It's a mirror reflecting deeper dysfunction in America's system. This is the moment to pause and ask, what now? What happens next? Because make no mistake, this is bigger than one rail line or one state. It's about whether America can still deliver big, bold ideas in the 21st century, or if we're stuck trying to force tomorrow's ambitions through yesterday's broken systems. Governor Newsom's idea to partner with China? It's controversial, yes, but it cuts to the heart of the question. The geopolitics complicate everything. Do we want to depend on a strategic rival to finish what we couldn't? Does that set a precedent we might regret? The deeper truth is California's struggle isn't unique. Our environmental reviews are outdated. Our permitting process is broken. Trying to build 21st century infrastructure with a 20th century rulebook doesn't work. If we don't fix this, it won't just be trains that stall. So here's the call for California, for Washington, and for everyone watching. If the U.S. wants to lead in clean tech, compete with China, and offer real opportunities for its people, it has to fix the way it builds infrastructure. Right now, we're at a fork in the tracks. Do we double down on dysfunction, or do we finally rethink the system? And that brings us to you. What do you think? Should California partner with China to finish the high-speed rail? Or should America take this as a wake-up call to overhaul its entire approach? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video insightful, kindly like and subscribe for more stories that connect policy with real-world impact. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.